Kyra, on the other story, the trooper story, we're learning now that the governor has hired a lawyer to help her deal with this. You have this state official who works for the governor. He says publicly he was pressured by the governor to fire the state trooper. The governor denies that flatly, and I guess that's the source. That's as a result of he says versus she says, there is this investigation underway because potentially it's a serious charge. Obviously, the McCain people who were vetting her, they knew all about this. They decided that they would believe her as opposed to him, and they went ahead and made this announcement. I suspect this story, this trooper story, has perhaps a greater potential political problem for the McCain campaign than the baby story. But go ahead, give us the latest on what you're hearing on the trooper story.
Well, that's interesting. I think both are going to become bigger issues here. And with regard to Troopergate, Wolf, that's something else that we've been investigating. We've been able to talk to a lot of people, even the governor's critics about Troopergate. And a number of her critics, but in particular, one individual who actually ran against her in the gubernatorial race just a couple years ago said, should she be fired for that? If indeed it comes forward that she used her rank to try and get this trooper fired, this man that was married to her sister, this man that's involved in a pretty ugly custody battle with her sister. He said, no, she shouldn't get fired. But yes, we should have a discussion about her use of politics to influence personal situations. So that's been really interesting, is that no one's come forward and said, oh, this is such a big scandal, she shouldn't be able to run alongside John McCain. But I will tell you, it was all the headlines here in this area. Everybody has been in the community talking about this story, even to this day, wondering, well, did she make a phone call? Was she involved in telling members of her staff to make these phone calls? Did she and her husband make certain comments to put pressure on the commissioner to fire her former brother-in-law? All the things, this, I'll tell you what, now that she has hired a lawyer, we will see more because the pressure is on. People do want answers. They want to know if indeed she was directly involved, because this plays into the whole issue of character and decision-making, Wolf.
All right, Kyra, stand by. We're watching this story. I want Bill Bennett to weigh in. Bill, you heard there's two stories, really totally unrelated. A bitter divorce, a bitter custody battle involving her ex-brother-in-law and her sister, and the charge being she called this commissioner and she pressured him in effect to go ahead and fire the trooper. He says that publicly. The trooper was never fired. She denies that there was any inappropriate political pressure from the governor to go ahead and fire her ex-brother-in-law.
Right. Well, this is the kind of story that can be appropriately looked at, because this is about ethics in government. Same kinds of questions people have asked about Barack Obama and Resco, Barack Obama and Bill Ayers. These are serious questions. This is a question about Sarah Palin. I know it was vetted by the McCain campaign. I know we've all been reading about it.